Hello violin players, and welcome to this clinic about how often you should rehair your bow. And this is a question that's been asked by a lovely lady called Angie, who has recently found that she actually needed to rosin her bow so often that she was wondering, should I be rehairing my bow and start with some fresh hair? And I'll answer that question in a moment. If you have a question that you want answered in this series, you're very welcome to take part. All you have to do is record your question on your phone, no longer than 1 minute, and send it to info@proamstrings.com, and who knows, you might feature in this series as well. So let's think a little bit more about the bow hair. As you bow, the hair actually wears, and you may have come across it at your local hairdressing salon where they had a picture up on the wall of a hair under a microscope, and you saw the hair and all these wispy bits on the side. Violin hair is similar. It also has got slight wispy bits on the side which hold your rosin when you put it on. But when you play on your bow, you will wear those little wispy bits off your bow hair, and over time your bow hair will hold less rosin than it did when it was brand new. So people ask me, how often then should I rehair my bow? And that completely depends on how much you play. Of course, if you take great care of your bow and you rosin it frequently, like almost every time you play, or a couple of times a week at least, and you wipe the rosin off with a duster after you're playing, and you loosen your bow hair every time you have finished playing, then your bow hair should last for about a year. And I have my bow rehaired slightly sooner than once a year, so once every 9 to 10 months. But then I play all day, every day. So if you do that, you look after the hair of your bow properly, and you feel that you're rosining your bow, but then 5 minutes into your violin practice, you need to rosin it again, and you feel your bow slipping quite easily, then it might well be worth speaking to your local violin maker and have a reputable person put some new hair on. You don't need to replace the hair if you lose a couple of hairs, and that's quite normal, and the hairs on your bow are actually not counted out. They are put on your bow by weight, so if you lose 1 or 2 hairs, you lose so little weight, it really doesn't matter. It's more about the rosin and not holding into your bow, but not if you lose a couple of hairs. In my view, it also really doesn't matter if your hair gets a little bit dirty here on the end. You really don't need to do anything about that, because if you have your bow rehaired, say yearly, that will be cleaned up anyway because you'll have new hair. What you do need to take into account, however, is not to touch the bow hair with your fingers, because there's always a little bit of grease on your fingers, and if you get that onto the bow hair, the rosin won't stick. So that's another reason why you might feel that you need more rosin. But if you don't normally touch the bow hair with your fingers and you feel that you need to rosin more, then it's time to rehair your bow. And once you've got new hair on your bow, obviously your bow will track along the string much better again, and you're ready to make renewed progress on your instrument, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? So keeping your instrument, and especially your bow, in super shape will help you progress the fastest on your instrument. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to receiving your question if you feel like. Goodbye.